What's going on, guys? How's it going? I'm Chris, and this is Rico, not to be confused with Rico from the Madagascar.
Rico, status report.
Yes. All right, guys. So this is our full review of Madam Web.
Madam Web.
Madam Web, a production that was put on, and we're gonna dive into what kind of a production this was, because this wasn't
A movie that was worth paying to see.
Yeah, we definitely lost some money here. So anyway, guys, with that, let's roll the intro and let's get into it.
Pop through culture.
No.
No, I'm not introing it.
No.
You know, moment of silence for the death of the Spider-Verse.
I guess so. Oh, God.
What up, what up? How we doing? We're back. And Madam Web, Dakota Johnson. What happened? Sydney Sweeney, really looking forward. Really looking forward. And from the interview she had, she seemed like she really knew what she was talking about. But it didn't deliver.
No.
It didn't deliver.
I don't think anything delivered.
No. Like, the acting.
I'm still waiting for the pizza to get delivered. I mean, that's about it right now.
Oh, I forgot to order pizza.
I forgot to order pizza again. But anyway, listen, guys. Between the actresses and the actors and everyone that was in there, I don't know. It was just a train wreck of nonsense. People were like lost. Just the actors, the characters on screen. They just like starting with Madam Web, Cassandra Webb, or Cassie, as they call her in the movie. They were just like lost into who they were or what they were doing. But let's run through the characters, or the characters in the movie, right?
Yeah.
So we got Madam Web, which is actually the first Madam Web in the comics. So she's the first Madam Web in the comics. And then they have Maddie Franklin,
Yes.
who's played by Celeste O'Connor, and then we have Anya Corazon, who's played by Isabel Merced.
Yeah.
Merced, who is in the comics is Araña.
Araña.
Araña,
Yes.
it's in Spanish because she's a Spanish, the Spanish character, Spanish spider person. And then we got Sydney Sweeney, who is Julia Cornwall in the movie, which is actually Julia Carpenter
Yeah.
in the comics.
Wow.
Carpenter is actually her married name.
Yes, her husband.
Yes, her husband. So
Yeah.
Cornwall is her family name, and then so that happens to be she is the second Madam Web
Yeah.
in the comics. So
Yeah.
she's the current Madam Web. The original Madam Web, who we play in the movie, Cassandra Webb, it was an older person. And then Shirley when she's introduced, she's older. She's an older woman, and she's already blind and everything. So in this movie, we kind of get Cassandra Webb as before she gets her powers, which notably is why through all movies, through all comics, and everything, usually people get their powers through adolescence and childhood. We see her get her powers when she's 30.
Mid-30s, too. She was born in 73.
Born in 73, but it's in 03. 2003. So that would make it...
I'm an art student.
Carry it too. That would make it 30 years.
30 years? Well, yeah. Like you're right. I didn't think about that. Like, what? Nothing... She was born with these powers, and she always had them. It was like you were saying, like if you look at the X-Men, she's a mutant because she was born with that in her DNA. So through puberty, I guess she would develop those powers.
It's like she never fell into a pool of water.
Yeah,
she falls in the pool of water, the Hudson River, right, or whatever river she falls into, and then she's like, "Oh no, a near-death experience, and now I'm having powers." Like, did she never like go take a bath or something, or go swimming?
She needed. Well, they did say, which actually makes sense. It's probably not accurate, but it does kind of fall into play. In Deadpool 1, Ajax was like, in order to reach your mutant ability, because everyone has it. Like, wait, he has mutant ability. You have to go through extreme stress and discomfort for your mutant DNA to basically sprout or erupt or conjure. And she basically died.
Yeah.
She got rescued by Ben Parker, by the way. Uncle Ben.
Yep.
It was in the movie. We'll get to that. That was basically my favorite. We'll get to it in a minute. She was basically rescued, brought back to life, and then boom, like you said, she had powers. So her body did go through extreme stress, which probably kickstarted and sparked her mutant ability.
I guess so. I mean,
And that's just me trying to save.
save the, save the situation. Yeah, because I was trying to think like what other like usually like you said mutants have to go through like some high stress or whatever. Like does that happen with like in the X-Men movies? Do they do that with like Jean Grey? I mean, I think they just develop when like powers just manifest. Like even like Superman, like all of a sudden his like eyes start glowing and or he starts jumping and then all of a sudden he's like in the stratosphere.
It did it happened with Wolverine.
Wolverine?
Yeah. Before Logan, which isn't his real name.
James Howlett.
I didn't even know that.
Come on.
Man, I forgot. Well, yeah, Wolverine, according to the MCU now, because he's a part of it, because of Deadpool, he was sick all the time. And then he found out that his mom was messing around with someone else, which come to find out that was his dad after the fact. He got really upset and just went to go punch him, and then claws came out. And the next thing you know, he ran, and he kept running forever. And that was basically the intro to Wolverine.
Oh yeah, when he's a kid.
Yeah,
because like it's like in
the Sabretooth.
Yeah, because Sabretooth's his brother, half brother. Yeah.
That's a good question. Yeah. Did he kill Sabretooth's dad, or did he kill his dad? Because I think his dad was the second. The other guy. Yeah. You know?
The other guy.
But let's get back on Madam Web. Yeah, you're not getting away with this that fast, Madam Web. Oh my goodness.
Trying to slip out of control. But yeah, so we have and then we got to hear from him, who is Ezekiel, which if you watch the movie and if you listen to the movie, his voice does not sync up with the audio that's going on here. So
yeah, something like that, right?
Yeah. So it was totally off. Why? Because why? What happened, Rico?
They made a shitty movie.
There's that. But what actually happened was there was a lot of ADR.
Yes. Usually what happens
is after digital recording, right? So what happened was he had to go back into the studio and do a redub or a dubbing of his voice because he was kind of out of breath. It wasn't. They couldn't hear him a lot. I think mainly because has a heavy accent and something like that. So they wanted to be more precise into what he was saying, so you can hear him. But I think the first time you notice that is when he's talking to his lady in the chair. Do we even get a name for her?
No, actually, I looked her up. Her name is Actress.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
So great. We don't even get a name for the lady in the chair that helps him.
Yeah.
But I noticed the first time was like right there, and she's talking. I'm like, that's not sound right. It doesn't sound right. It's like really bad. Like they don't even go into like edit and just make sure it sounds right. Like I've gone through many of our podcasts and I've went through meticulous detail to make sure our audio sounded right. Like I spent hours doing and I don't get paid for this.
And this is just from a laptop, not a big audio studio.
Yeah, like I'm doing this from my laptop. If you're you see this, my small little laptop. Shout out to Carmen, whatever it is, Asus, whatever this laptop is. But shout out to them because trying to get the audio and the visual to sound right, so we have like some kind of quality to ourselves. Yeah. But a big studio, Sony Studios, couldn't even do that. Yeah,
Sony Studios.
Yeah, which is known for their sound.
Yeah, right.
Is this thing on?
Of course it is. It's not made by Sony.
Right.
Well, anyway, and on top of that, with him, the entire trailer that hyped us up for this movie, at least hyped some of us up for this movie, the entire trailer was that moment in that dream sequence where he wakes up and he starts he wakes up and he's like, I gotta kill these women now for no reason, because this is something that's gonna happen in the distant future. And he goes, well, I gotta kill him now. And throughout that whole scene is where the ADR started to act up. And sorry to fill it for you guys who didn't see the movie. Don't worry, just watch the trailer like for an hour and 20 minutes straight, hour 41 minutes straight.
Yeah, just keep repeating it, and then you're good.
You'll at least see the movie in a better version than I did. But there was
Which begs the question: why do people always go to like immediate violence? I mean, but like maybe we should find him. Like, why are you trying to kill me? But like, you guys are trying to kill me in the future. I have from this vision of you killing me. Maybe you don't kill me, or let's find out why you want to kill me.
Yeah.
They're like, let's go kill me before they kill me.
Or, well, common sense, Ezekiel becomes a bad guy. Good guys typically would kill bad guys.
Well, then again, he does kill Cassandra's mom. So in the jungle where he gets the spider, and where he gets his powers from.
Yeah.
So I guess he's originally a villain, and then so I guess just to continue the villain arc, and then to I guess it makes sense. Let's just go kill these girls.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter that they're teenagers, because
True.
the girl in the chair brings up and
Oh my
says,
God, they're teenagers. Yeah.
they're like, oh, they're teenagers.
They're
I didn't know
kids.
you're gonna go kill some teenagers, and he's like, that's nice. Find them.
And this goes out to all you guys that think we don't read comics, or, well, we're not going by the comic. Just let you guys know, Ezekiel, you can find him in Amazing Spider-Man, and he's actually one of Peter Parker's good friends. He obtained his power through a magical spell. He started out as a good guy, and he slowly transitioned into a bad guy and becoming one of Peter Parker's, Spider-Man's biggest nemesis, before he kind of just faded out because there was no good story run for him, because Spider-Man is overwhelmed with villains. He wasn't one of those villains that kind of get lost in the multiverse, kind of got lost in the webverse, I guess. And I haven't really seen the Spider-Verse. Thank you. And I haven't really seen him in any comics that keeps him relevant. So yeah, Ezekiel. They tried to bring him back. I feel like it was a better movie, or they portrayed him in a better way and gave him his original suit instead of this black spandex with paper mache.
Oh, silly string.
A silly string all over it. Yeah.
Well, I guess they went for the web.
Yes,
web look.
I think it would have transitioned better. But I remember telling you in the theater that the character that played Ezekiel reminded me of a live action Miguel O'Hara, and the eyes that they made for Ezekiel's suit reminded me as well as a Spider-Man 2099. There's so much potential if you just listen to fans. They'll give you exactly what they want. They'll tell you exactly what they want. And, Sony, you're trying to make Marvel comic book movies. I understand I don't always have to have a comic book accurate film, but at least give me a traditional, well-made film with classic characters and honor those characters and stay true to them in some minute way.
And so why do we think do we know why Sony just keeps putting out movies randomly?
Well, yeah, they want to keep those characters, right? So every 5 years?
It's like 5.5 years.
Yeah.
They gotta put something, some kind of Spider-Man or Spider-Man character or Spider-Man villain out there. Otherwise, they wind up losing the IP back to Marvel, because that was the one in stipulation when they got when they bought the characters way back when, was every 5.5 years you need to put a Spider-Man character on screen. Otherwise, you lose the IP. It goes back to them. Defaults back to them. And they also have Craven coming out. They have Craven coming out, and they had Morbius coming out. I mean, you know what? Morbius was better than this.
I fell asleep twice, and I only watched Morbius twice. I fell asleep on the couch watching Morbius twice in a row.
I'm trying to think. I think I saw it at home. I don't think I remember seeing the whole thing, but from what I did see, I think seems a little better than what I saw this.
It's like I want to like Morbius because Morbius has a high potential to be a great show, and he's a cool character overall.
Yeah.
But I feel like I just like the character, and that's what's keeping me rooting for that movie. Venom 1 was great.
Venom 1 and Venom 2, they were great. I love the Venoms.
Venom 2 wasn't as good as Venom 1. I feel like they could have. There's no, like, to me, and I know this probably overthinking it, but there's no room for Carnage in, I guess you could say, a Marvel Cinematic Universe, not a Disney universe.
Because he's too violent.
You
got Deadpool coming out.
Well, yeah, but you can't. Who are you gonna have him go up against? Carnage. Who's gonna go up against Carnage? There's the look of how every MCU film is made would not fit Carnage. and it wouldn't look good. It wouldn't match. At least in my head.
Well,
It wouldn't.
because the MCU is more bright.
Yeah,
Like Carnage would fit more like say DCEU because
yeah,
it's the darker brooding
uh
side
huh,
of the superhero movies. Yeah, I see what you're saying with that, like as far as the aspect, but I mean, if you read Maximum Carnage, there's a slew of characters that go against Carnage, and
yeah,
it's during middle of the day. It happens during daytime, so it's not like it's only shot at nighttime or drawn at nighttime. It's not dark, so he's killing people throughout the day.
yeah. Like he'll kill your whole family.
Oh yeah,
Like kids, wife, husband,
everybody done dead.
Control Alt Delete all of you. You know, the whole time, the whole movie.
Yeah,
And it's like, how does that fit in the DCU? How does that fit with Disney?
Marvel.
Well, Marvel,
Yeah.
yeah. So it has to say a Sony character. And what's sad is, a lot of Spider-Man villains is owned by DC. I mean, I'm sorry.
Marvel.
Oh, sorry about that. Owned by Sony.
Mm-hmm. Well, the
And
whole Spider-Man, all the Spider-Man characters are owned by Sony.
yeah,
So that's the
so
villains, that's Spider-Man, everything
yeah,
that's associated with Spider-Man. This whole roster,
so
Sony owns. So yeah, I mean, so they can still make a Carnage movie and
yeah,
be in the Sony verse, Sony Spider Verse.
but
And
they're not going to be good movies. Look at the track record. Like,
well, if they did, well, no, because Sony also did the first few Spider-Man, but then they
yeah,
canceled it and we wound up getting Madam Web. So they don't really make the best of choices.
true.
But anyway, so coming back,
Yeah,
let's go back up again. Getting ahead of ourselves. There's a lot of things that happened in the movie where it just seemed weird. Like Cassandra, like as a character, as a person, she just seemed weird on screen. Like she's an EMT worker who seems like she's been doing this for a while. Seems like a veteran. She's been doing this for several years. She's 30, so she probably did it like, early 20s. So let's say 7 years. Let's say give or take 6-7 years. How do you? How are you in the hospital and a little girl comes up to you like, oh, thank you. And she's
yeah.
like,
What do I do with this?
what do I do with this?
I'll just fold it up and throw it away later. That's exactly what she told Ben.
Yeah, I was like,
Like, what?
just say thank you and walk away. It's just weird. It was just weird. I'm like, I'm a little staring like, why?
Yeah.
And then when they're in the baby shower, they had to like write names on like what was your best memory of your mother, and she just writes nothing. And she's like, well, I didn't have a mom. She died. Like, just don't put a piece of paper.
Yeah.
Why do you make it weird?
Yeah, like she was the Debbie Downer of the whole movie.
Yeah, it was.
And like it was like between her and the would-be Spider Women cadets, the web cadets. It was like we wasn't watching a superhero film. We were just watching, four girls running around New York City getting chased by
Half naked.
yeah, getting chased by an evil version of. It was like a weird Jason movie. You know?
Yeah, right. I guess so.
Like getting chased by a weird looking evil Spider-Man. Like every scene in that movie, this is the setting for the whole movie. You ready? Ambulance, train station, boxcar, woods, diner, factory. That was every scene. That was every and Ben's house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sense.
That was it. That was the whole pecking order of the movie, and it was like the movie felt like it was longer than what it was because I just did not like it that much. But at the same time,
But at least we got a break in the middle when we got up and went for a drink.
I've never gotten up unless I had to use the bathroom, and sometimes I don't. I'll wait.
I've held it for several hours.
I've
I'm
never
like,
gotten up.
I will sit through this. And we looked at each other. We're like, "Can I get a drink?"
Yeah,
We literally
Like,
just got up. We walked out. We came
that's-
back and didn't miss a beat.
that's what I've never got up and go. You know what? I want to get a refill soda. I don't think I've ever finished a soda and a big bucket of popcorn in an entire movie by myself. That was just that engaged with the film. I just stopped eating and swallowing and chewing, and
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, the movie's that awesome. I don't need the rest of this stuff."
Sure.
But no, I leaned over to you and I was like, "Yo, are we watching a bad movie?"
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it
I
was
was
like
like-
I was having a. It was new. It was
Yeah,
a new movie.
because and this is from two guys who went to see the Marvels, and we liked the
I
Marvels.
like the Marvels.
And everyone was like trash talk the Marvels. And you know, I remember before we went to go see Madam Web, you were sending me videos and reviews of it being bad. I'm like, you know what? I don't want to see any reviews. I want to go see fresh eyes because we were seeing bad reviews for the Marvels, and I was like, we went in and we're like, this is a good movie. We liked it. We enjoyed the Marvels, but Madam Web, 4 thumbs down. This was terrible. I mean, as far as movies go, it was bad. I mean, you know, a lot of people say, well, you know, she's a clairvoyant. How much action can you have? But you have these other people, these Spider Women in there. You don't utilize them. You don't even show them when they get how they get the powers. Or, you know, obviously you probably get the powers through that spider bite, but you don't see that manifest. You only see it later on, and they go, oh, you know, we're going to save the day later on in the future, and we're going to save it in the future, and I'm going to be here to help you. And that's it. And you see, like, the, I don't know, background shot or, you know, foreground shot of them being, you know, in their costumes, which all the costumes are CGI, except for Ezekiel's. Yeah. They're all, if you look at it, they're all CGI.
And none of them had web. None of them. Nobody was a web slinger. Like, even Ezekiel, he just jumped and crawled everywhere.
Yeah. Does Ezekiel has powers in the comics? I mean, web.
Oh yeah, he's all over the place. He's a Spider-Man. Yeah. Every version of Spider-Man or woman have webs, and this is the first movie where
I keep telling him about the robot.
R2D2, man. Well, yeah, he has web, and nobody in this movie have webs. Nobody uses web shooters. They're just jumping. Well, he's just jumping and crawling on walls and rooftops, you know.
I mean, it was kind of cool with like his quickness and how he took out like the cops and everything. But again, it was very quick. It was, you don't see much of it, and it's very like shadowy, Spider-Man-esque, because his costume's also dark, and every time you do see him, it's dark.
Yeah.
So that kind of adds to the shadowiness of it.
Now that you mention that, though, we did get a glimpse of what would Peter Parker, how it would be going up against Peter Parker as a regular human. If he didn't pull his punches, that's exactly what would happen. Only other time that we saw something like that is when Dr. Octopus possessed Peter Parker in
Superior Spider-Man.
Yeah. He punched basically Scorpio's jaw off.
Oh, yeah.
And was like, wow, this kid's been pulling his punches the whole time. He's super strong.
Yeah, he's like, he could have took me out at any time. Yeah. At any moment. He's like, wow, he's been holding his punches the whole time.
So, like, in this movie, we did see potentially what Peter Parker is capable of doing.
Oh, sure.
You know, if he wanted to fight back against the New York Police Department.
But he said multiple times in the comics, he's like, I hold my punches, like, otherwise I would literally kill people.
Oh, and on top of that, they did every single Spider-Man or Spider-like movie, they did bring up with great power comes great responsibility. They did bring that up, and they didn't even say it in that way. I think you have great powers if you have great responsibilities.
Yes,
that's how they said it. I'm gonna go turn this off.
No, you're not. Stay here.
Stay here.
Yeah, all right. We gotta finish.
R2D2, stop it.
So, guys, what else we got here is, I mean, and then she, like, the whole time when she's developing her powers, yes, I get it, like, a lot of the movies where you have them trying to develop their powers, even, like, I was trying to think back, like, what kind of movies were, like, they're developing powers, like the Fantastic Four, like, the original set of Fantastic Four movies. They were developing their powers, but they were having fun. They're like, "Oh, what am I doing? Okay, I'm going to like flame on, and I'm going to stretch." But they're having fun with their powers.
Yeah,
like she just seems completely lost. She sees the future. She stares at it like,
"We shouldn't go that way."
And she's like, "Did I just see the future?"
Yeah, you're gonna die. Like, thanks.
But like the like deer and headlight kind of look. The whole movie, it was just like every time she saw the future, she's like, what just happened?
Yeah.
Like, okay, you're seeing the future.
And just all of the other cast members, like I'm not gonna say like what's their names? Like Maddie Franklin. I didn't like her as a character. Like I didn't like that character. She was just it was almost she was annoying.
Angsty teenager.
Yes, and then Anya, it was like it was just a bunch of bad acting, and who the person who played Anya Cortez, no, that's not her last name.
Corazon.
Curzon. I've seen her in other movies, and she's a good actress. I don't know what happened with this movie. Same thing with Sydney Sweeney. She's a decent actress, and this movie was like, you know what? Let's just take a break from acting and just remember your lines. At least remember your lines.
Yes.
That's all I'm asking you for.
They just took a check and read
Yeah.
lines off of script and kind of wandered around on a screen.
Mm-hmm.
So, but guys, this was bad. And can't say much more than that. This was bad. Like, if you go to see it, we're sorry you went to go see it, and if you don't see it, don't go see it.
But put some highlight on it. You do meet Peter Parker's mom.
Oh, this was the highlight. The highlight
Yeah.
of the movie was we get to see pre-Peter Parker.
Yes, we got to see the birth of Peter Parker.
Yes.
And that was cool. We get to see a young Uncle Ben.
Which actually they don't actually go out and say this is Ben Parker. This is Richard, because they allude this is Ben. What are the Ben and
Parker?
Did it say Parker?
Yeah.
I thought it said paramedic. It said paramedic.
No.
Yeah, it says paramedic.
Did it?
They all say paramedic.
Oh man.
I was looking for the last names.
Gotcha.
This is paramedic. Go back and check it. So yeah, so
The credits.
Yeah.
The credits.
You get Ben, and then you get Mary, which again they don't say their names and the last name, and then you get Richard Parker, which is off screen because he says, "Oh, my brother Richard." Oh, and his wife's inside.
Ben Parker.
It says Ben Parker.
Yeah.
All right, there you go.
And then Emma Roberts, Mary Parker.
There you go.
Which is Peter Parker's mom.
But again, you only notice because if you look at the credits, like if you didn't go look at the credits, you didn't like Google who the actors were playing, you wouldn't know. But because they always say they're only saying their first names, but by connection and knowing who the characters are, by
Actress.
Who's that?
The girl in the chair.
Oh God.
Actress.
She doesn't even get her name. That's terrible.
I told you. Yeah.
Oh my.
Actress.
I feel bad for her. Yeah. So.
Oh.
Yeah. So. That's about it.
That's about
I
it,
don't have
man.
much more to say about this movie.
What would you rate it?
Oof.
Besides 4 thumbs down, 1 to 10.
3.
3. I give it a 4. I'm gonna give it a 4 for the sheer fact that I love comic books, and I know that I should give it a negative 4 because of that. But at least I got to see an origin of Peter Parker, not of Spider-Man, but of Peter Parker, and I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna hold on to that. I give it a 4.
Okay.
Because Peter Parker and Uncle Ben.
Shout out to Uncle Ben.
Shout out to Uncle Ben.
Right.
And the actress in the chair.
Actress in the chair. There you go.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So that's it. That's our wrap for our full review of Madam Web. Again, guys, let us know in the comments if you've seen this movie. If you're, what are your thoughts on the movie? And hopefully we can write back and reply back on your comments. Until again, next time, guys.
Keep popping the culture.
Later.
See ya. So we are briefly talking about Madam Web. We don't really need these, but just in case.
I thought this whole video was going to be a review of Madam Web.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I got the notes.
I'm just saying in case you want to pronounce words and names correctly because they deserve to be called out for their bullshit. So give them the respect that they deserve.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. Fuck them.
Fuck them.
Fuck them.